why have a plan B? Well, I'd ask you, why are you so trusting in the current financial system? What if you wake up one morning and your dollars aren't worth anything? You can't buy gas, you can't buy food. Then what? Well, if you had a plan B, you'd be rolling casually to that plan B and operating efficiently. Welcome to the Red to Black podcast, hosted by Warner and Mario, two Marine officers and businessmen. In series Plan B, we discuss how do you survive and thrive in financial chaos. So, Mario, what are your thoughts on that?
Having an exit strategy will build confidence in your life. So you'll have the confidence to maneuver when things get bad. So always have a strategy everywhere you go, to a business lunch, to a meeting, to a party, to a gathering, anywhere you go, always have a plan B exit strategy. So my plan B is a 1991 Dodge Cummins diesel with a camper on the back of it. It's maybe 300 feet from here in the parking lot, and it's got 25 gallons of diesel in it right now. And I can get to Nevada easily on one tank of gas. I can be out of the state of California in a couple hours on one tank of gas. It's fully fueled up. My plan, that gives me confidence, folks. That gives me the ability to maneuver, and gives me confidence that if things melt down, I've got my plan B. And I can go through my life with a little bit of reassurance that if things get really bad, I'm going to execute my exit strategy. I'm going to leave here. I'm not going to even deal with the craziness. And we're in Southern California. This place erupts every 25 years. I've been alive long enough now to see two complete meltdowns of Los Angeles. One happened in the 90s and one recently happened in 2020. So within my short 40 years on this earth, I've seen it happen twice in Los Angeles. And I keep a plan B real close to me. Warner, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was actually in Los Angeles when it melted down, and I was 2 blocks away from the apartment fourplex we used to own, was the command center for the entire central area of the city, mid-city. And they had the National Guard there, and they had a whole the cop station was literally 2 blocks from my house. So they just used the cop station as like the command center, and they barricaded off on Venice Boulevard 2 of the sides of the road, or they barricaded off all sides of the road. And then these National Guardsmen and cops could come at the end of the day into this like secure area. It was their command center. I was there when it happened. So I was right near the riots. I was right near everything. I saw the stores being looted. I saw all that crap. It was crazy. And I realized, man, I need better quality plans. And what we're talking about with Plan B is we're talking about 2 different worlds. Guys might be thinking, oh, you guys are these crazy ass preppers. No, we're actually looking at what's actually occurring in the economy, and we understand the systems that these economies are built on. Right now, it's built on a fractional reserve banking system, meaning multiple things going on here. If you deposit $100, they can lend out like 90 of those dollars or more. Also, what you don't know, or which most people don't know, is that that's just those deposits, the money you have in your hand, is a small amount of the monetary system. The biggest portion is the loans and the credit, the lines of credit that these banks issue. That's how the real money is issued. That sits on digits in your bank account. You could wake up one morning and that's gone, or it's worthless. So then you shift to the other world, which is Plan B, where you have resources that you own. None of this, I own part of my truck. Like we just paid off our Tundra, right? Paid off the whole thing because I wanted that Plan B. I was like, maybe we can just finance it and keep paying the payments. No. I want the Plan B. I want the resources that I own that are in my hands that I can control. I don't want those resources, anyone to have ownership in those resources. That's Plan B. Resources in your hand, plans that you can execute. That one system kind of shuts down, you transition to this system, and then go back to the other system when it's back up. Mario, what are your thoughts?
Warner and I are running parallel operations. So we are definitely on the fractional reserve currency system. We are definitely into business. We're doing business. We own businesses. We are definitely part of the normal system. We just recognize that there is vulnerabilities that are inherent with that business or with that system that can affect our businesses. And at the same time, we've started small, but we're running a parallel operation over here, which is a Plan B, which is an exit strategy. Which is things melt down here, we're just going to transition to this. We're not going off grid yet. We're not living in a bunker. We're not doing that. It's just an insurance policy. It's a simple insurance policy. You can do that in your life, starting small with a backpack. Have a couple freeze-dried meals. Have water purification. Have an asset that provides security for you, a small asset that you can produce security for yourself. Have a small backpack and keep it in the back of your truck. And then as every month, as you're putting a little bit of money into your plan B, you're upgrading. You're making that a little bit bigger, a little more robust. You're moving into other assets, and you're eventually creating an insurance policy. So if this melts down, you're able to transition to your plan B and exit a dangerous situation and get to a better environment.
Yeah, those are great points. It's what I really liked was that it's an insurance plan. Because what you're really setting up is this insurance plan where you can transition from chaos to consistency. And then when the chaos has kind of quieted down, you go back to a more consistent monetary environment. And if you look at fiat currency, not one fiat currency, I know I'm being a dead horse, but not one fiat currency in the history of this world has ever survived. They've all gone to zero. Roman Empire, boom, gone. England, they didn't completely get destroyed, but they were bumped off the reserve system by the US dollar. So these fiat systems aren't always the biggest show in town. They end up bombing out and going to zero. So why do we have this slogan, create storm-ready financial freedom? Well, we're talking about this like financial freedom in the monetary system, and then a similar financial resource freedom in another plan B system that you create. That's a storm-ready financial freedom. If all your financial freedom is in a bank account, wow, you are setting yourself up for some really, really big blow-ups in the future. But if you run this concurrent strategy, or maybe you have like a home out in the woods, or you have some extra food stored up somewhere, you can jump to this other system, and it enables you to come back when the system's back online. So it enables you to jump from system to system. That's the whole point of this podcast, is creating storm-ready financial freedom in the regular system where there's functioning businesses, and then in your own sort of resource-driven life where you have a truck, a boat, a plane, house, food, medical, all the things that are required to survive. Mara, any final thoughts?
Just folks think that they have insurance in their life, and the reality is no, someone else is controlling that insurance payout, like FDIC. Okay, yeah, you technically have FDIC on, let's say, a couple $100,000 in deposits in a U.S. bank. It's when are they going to pay you out? Oh, go get in line. Oh, your paperwork needs to go here. Oh, we're going to process the paperwork. Oh, you're in line. It's not something that, if you don't, like Warner said this in past podcasts, if you don't actually have that insurance plan in your life, you don't really control it. Someone else controls the timeline. Someone else controls when you're paid out, how you're paid out, how it's trickled out to you. It's not something to rely on. Yeah, you got FDIC insurance, or yes, you have an insurance, you have life insurance, you have car insurance, you have these insurance things in your life. The reality is self-insure. Take responsibility for your ability to survive a chaotic situation and build assets and redundancy into your life where you can execute. When this melts down, you can execute that plan B. That's my final thoughts. Thanks, Warner.
Yeah, Mario, just to recreate what you're saying, there's a certain this spectrum that we're on. You're either more independent or you're more dependent. And that's what he's talking about. Great points. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Subscribe, comment, like, share this with the world. And as always, we look forward to connecting with you in the future.